They are. All right, our next guest is ready to go. No stranger to television, and he's back in it. In fact, tomorrow night is going to be the premiere of the show. And obviously, you know him from years as friends, and he's done film and so on and so forth. And this time, this is his baby. He's writing this thing. It's the full deal.
Entertainment Weekly really liked it. It's getting a good buzz, and it's on after Modern Family.
Mm-hmm.
So that's
Great
a good
lead
slot.
in. Yeah, absolutely. So it's called Mr. Sunshine. Please welcome Matthew Perry to the show this morning.
Thank you. You have a little jingle for me and everything.
Well, we figured we'd set you up, you know. Is there going to be a theme song for the show, Matthew?
Yes, there is, and it's kind of funny. They don't really have theme songs anymore, so they're just like 7-second long things. But we have kind of a funny one.
I was just commenting on that. My wife. There used to be, like a full song. Well, obviously, Friends had a full song, and now it's just a couple of notes, and that's it.
That's right, but we managed to get a little joke in there.
Okay, well, we'll catch it tomorrow night for sure. Now, I have to mention this, Mr. Sunshine. Your character is in charge of a concert venue, a sports venue. We know this guy.
We do know this
There's
guy.
a guy in Philadelphia named Ike Richmond, and I'm wondering if you're going to mirror this. Have you met some of these guys in this position that you're portraying?
I'd love to meet him. I met the guy who does it at the Staples Center.
Okay.
During my big fat one day of research.
But in a way, it's all part of show business, and it's sort of a P.T. Barnum type personality that tends to do these kind of things.
Well, it's a fun place for a show to take place because just insanity goes through there every day.
Yeah.
And when you go to the website of Madison Square Garden or the Staples Center and you check events, it's sort of startling what they'll have on some of their off nights, like dog shows and lingerie football and stuff like that. So we're taking full advantage of all of that.
Or the weird, I think they're like for one of the 76ers games here, there was like Hasidim Appreciation Night or something like just a weird reason to have people gather in the venue. So. And this is perfect for you. You play the put upon guy just about as well as anyone, and Allison Janney in the cast is a great coup as well.
Yeah, when Allison agreed to play the part, I sort of knew we had a show.
Yeah, I mean,
and she is just fantastic, and the kind of actress I've never actually worked with this type of actress who just never does the same thing twice ever.
Yeah, she's really playing against type in this, isn't she? She's kind of the unhinged person, yeah.
Yes, and that's sort of fun for me because I get to watch her sort of bounce off the walls, and I get to react to that. So I can be, a little bit more subtle than I've been in other comedies. So it's sort of fun for me too.
But that'll fit right in the lineup because ABC has a solid lineup with Modern Family, and obviously, I guess, are you replacing or serving as a lead into Cougar Town?
I think what's happening is that just taking Cougar Town off for 9 weeks and giving us a shot.
Right.
Matthew, with this being the venue that your character works in, is this going to open it up for, you're obviously, house or host concerts and so forth. Are you going to have some guest stars that might actually play themselves that come through?
Yeah, I have to say we in our 13 episodes, we got a pretty impressive list of people. In our second episode, Nick Jonas is on.
Oh, okay.
Jonas Brothers.
Somebody had to tell me who he was. Or I didn't call to ask him to be on the show.
He's actually a fairly big thing, so.
He's a very big deal. So he's on, and my hero, Jimmy Connors.
Oh wow! Yeah, because you were a kind of a top level tennis player in your youth, correct?
Yeah, in Canada, I was a nationally ranked player when I was a young kid, but I had like the same haircut and the same attitude. And
there we go.
Jimmy Connors was the guy, so we did an episode that there was a celebrity tennis event, and I called and he said yes.
Cool. Wow, that's very cool.
Is he still married to that Playboy model?
I believe he is.
Okay.
And then life imitated art because the following week he called me and asked me to be in a real charity tennis event with him.
Oh, cool. That's cool.
So he and I are sort of best friends now.
There you go.
That's awesome. I'm sure a lot of it is filmed on set, but it looks like you guys are actually filming in an arena as well. Which arena did you use?
One more name. We have James Taylor as well.
Oh,
wow. He's awesome.
James Taylor, one of the best interviews we ever did. He played for us, and the guy was exactly what you want him to be.
That's exactly right. It's just the most life-affirming time that you spend with him.
Now, does he play against type, or is he who he is in the show?
He plays Crystal. Allison Janney's character has 6 ex-husbands, and he plays one of them.
Oh, that's great.
Wait, as James Taylor or as another character?
No, as this sort of blues singer.
Okay. Oh, that's great.
Guy. But Allison and James sing a song together, and it's really, really beautiful and cool.
That's cool.
That's awesome. No, I was just asking, which arena did you actually use to film some of these scenes?
The Forum in L.A., the Inglewood.
They still use that building.
Well, it's empty. There's nothing happening there.
Wow.
Okay.
So we use that for our exteriors and interiors, and one day a week we would go out there, which is kind of cool because most 30-minute long shows don't have a set piece that's that big.
Let me ask you, as you're also serving as a writer on the show, and do you? I mean, is it a case where you pick an episode here or there, or is your input in every episode?
Oh no, my input is in every episode. The goal was to stay at the creative center of the show the entire time, but it's really written by a ton of people. There's a huge writing room, and I would say like 15 people do all the punch ups and all of that stuff.
All right, as a writer, you're going to have to write this into your script at some point because you do have a member of your cast that we've had in our studio before, in Nate Torrance. And Nate caught my eye initially as the guy from the Volkswagen commercial who screamed like...
we have this scream here. Give a listen.
That was him in our studio.
You got to get him to scream like that in the show.
It is the loudest scream I've ever heard.
It's subtle.
And he makes the best face when he does it.
But I love him, man.
He's very talented.
Yeah, I want to see him.
He's fantastic. He's fantastic. We did Studio 60 together, and then my actual first effort as a writer, I did a pilot for Showtime that he was in as well. So I'm doing my best to try to turn this man into a TV.
Yeah. Talking about Studio 60, I really enjoyed that show, and obviously, with Aaron Sorkin and all that, you must have thought, okay, it's got the firepower to make the run. Is it I assume it's disappointing when something like that goes down for the count.
I liked it a lot.
Well, yeah, it was because I don't know that I'll ever get that kind of writing again. And it was this strange thing where it had so much power behind it before it started. It was like everybody just assumed it was going to be huge. And then by like week 4, we realized it wasn't.
Do you know what oddly enough, I think might have been a detriment to it is the fact that I think 30 Rock came on at the same time and maybe people were confused?
Well, that's the thing. We were like at the NBC upfronts looking over at Tina Fey and like feeling sorry for her.
Right. Yeah.
We're like, oh, sorry.
Life is cruel that way.
Well, it's very interesting that way.
And is Jorge Garcia going to be a part of the cast as well?
Yeah, that was another sort of dream come true for me. I'm the Lost fanatic.
Oh, cool.
And the role of a maintenance guy came up, and we offered it to him, and he said yes as well. So we've been really, really lucky. And he plays this character that's just he's just got a very dry sense of humor, very subtle, very funny. And he's done 4 episodes so far.
Cool. Well, I mean, this is perfect because you do this stuff well. And I was reading a little interview with you where you had the hits and misses. You should be on TV, and this at least the advance word says this is probably the one that's going to go the distance for you. So congratulations.
Oh, well, that's very nice of you to say. Fingers crossed.
Yeah.
And you know what? I think you hit way more than you missed because I was just thinking of like all the movies that I love that you're in, and they're great movies. Like I was actually just talking to my brother about the whole 9 yards, which was on over the weekend. It's a hilarious movie. I love Fools Rush In, and you know what? Even though you're not in it all that much, but it is based around you. I love 17 again. I think it's a great movie with Zac Efron.
Oh yeah, of course, yeah. Believe it or not, I had to be told who he was too.
I'm kind of with you there. Yeah.
But he was a great guy, and that's very nice of you to say. And thank you for not naming the 18 terrible ones.
Well, you are the only cast member of Friends to not be nominated for a Razzie.
That's good.
There you go.
So you got that in the check column. That's good.
Let's hope that stays the same.
And you're on Kimmel tonight?
Yes.
Okay.
He's great.
Excellent. All right. Well, we'll watch that, and obviously tomorrow night. I'm like I said, we know a guy that basically the character you're playing, so I'm very interested to see how this plays out.
Oh, that's very nice of you. Thank you for being so kind about it. And,
you got it.
And yeah, well, it's a big day tomorrow.
Cool, man.
Well, good luck.
Yeah, good luck, Matthew. Thanks for joining us.
Thanks, guys.
All right, take care. Matthew Perry. Yeah. And Mr. Sunshine is going to be on tomorrow night, 9:30 on ABC.
When he first came on, Kathy and I looked at each other because did his voice sound different to you guys?
A little bit different,
It did not sound like him at all. I thought this isn't him.
Because I've seen every episode of Friends, and I'm a Matthew Perry fan. He just sounded odd. That's all.
He's a different person now. I mean, the guy, he went through some big-time drug issues. He had to go through rehab. He had
I
some.
forgot about that.
Yeah, he had some problems. He had to really get
Prescription
past
pills.
it. And then he had some failed projects that really kind of sent him into the a bit of a downward spot. I mean, he didn't hit rock bottom or anything like that, but he's had a tough run here and there.
I didn't know that was going to change his voice.
But I remember, and now I wish I could have. No, this would have been stupid to bring up. But he was
World War One.
He had a story arc on Growing Pains, and I watched basically every episode of Growing Pains. But he was Carol's boyfriend and died in a car accident.
That's right.
Yeah, played Sandy.
I didn't know that was him.
Yeah, that was him. And so
I remember that episode, but I don't remember it being him.
Yeah, it was him because she went to the hospital and saw him. And he was what seemed to be was fine,
but he had a hemorrhage.
Yeah, had internal bleeding, and when she got home, he had died.
And Kirk Cameron had to tell her about it. I remember that.
Very powerful.
And then they
episode.
went into that full World War I discussion, and it was really
wild,
strange that they would switch gears like that.
Efficacy of using mustard gas.
Yep. But you know what? It was educational.
At best.
Preston and Steve on 93.3 WMMR.